Before Facebook and all that, and talked for about 6 months and then met. He saw me for the first time and fell in love right away. And that's when we got married.
But it really was love at first sight.
Yeah, he was the love of my life, my rock, So it's gonna be hard.
From her kitchen table, Shannon Owen depicts her own strength, reflecting on a love of 20 years, an unimaginable loss.
He works these nights and you wake up every morning, and the mornings are the hardest because I roll over and he's not there.
A husband and father first, who loved to fish, hunt, and scuba dive.
He literally would do anything for anyone. He was always one of those people.
With a servant's heart.
It would kind of annoy me sometimes because we'd be sitting here on the couch relaxing, and if somebody needed something, he would just get up and go. He always wanted to help people. It was just in his heart and his blood. I don't know what it was.
Josh Owen joined the National Guard in high school. He deployed to Bosnia and Iraq before trading one uniform for another, eventually landing at the Pope County Sheriff's Department, where he worked as a deputy for 14 years.
He was a well-spoken person, so he could literally come in a room and talk to anyone and calm you down in any situation.
You even just look at pictures of him, and you're like, this isn't the guy this happens to.
No, especially with all the years of his military training, I never thought that this would happen to him. When you come home and he comes home for dinner every night, you think it's gonna be fine, and especially when you go to calls, the same calls all the time, you just don't think those things. And you just think it probably happened there versus when you're at a small town like ours. You just don't expect that here. We just don't have that kind of violence here.
Josh had thrown a big birthday to celebrate Shannon's 40th just 2 weeks earlier, when on a Saturday, April 15th, he turned 44. Well, he worked the night shift that weekend. He stopped home for a steak dinner with Shannon and Rylan when he got the call.
He came home, ate most of his dinner, and we were gonna have cake. And he said, I'll be right back. And within a half hour, I had somebody at my door. It was that fast.
Few details have been released about what went on in that Cyrus apartment building. The BCA has said when a man was told he'd be arrested for domestic abuse, he began shooting. This year, 10 peace officers in this area have been shot in the line of duty. In the last month alone, 4, including Josh, have died.
I'm grieving, but I'm very angry at the same time because I feel like they just don't have enough protection. And they're going in on these calls and shielding themselves as well because of all these restrictions that they can't do. So it's very frustrating because I just don't know anything that's happened, and I want answers because he was afraid he'd do something wrong and end up in jail. And that's how a lot of them feel. They feel like if they step over the line just a little bit, that they're gonna go to jail. And we have to be able to protect them as well as other citizens, but we can't be blocking all of these things for them to do.
Alpha News reported how you did not want Governor Tim Walz at the funeral, and I just want you to, kind of in your own words, explain why that was. But you were very adamant from the beginning.
Yes, it had nothing to do with his being Republican or Democrat. It had nothing to do with that. I can make that clear. But it had to do with the fact that a lot of the laws that they're changing for police officers, it's changing a lot of minds in other officers if they want to stay or not, or if they want to be a cop anymore because they can't protect themselves. And in situations like this, whether it was mental health or drugs or whatever, they need to be able to approach these situations and protect themselves. It's not that I wanted to be rude or anything, but I don't appreciate people that don't support law enforcement. It doesn't matter who you are.
Where does that strength, that courage come from for you?
I feel like Josh is channeling through me in a way because I'm normally an introvert. I don't like confrontation, but I was just so angry in that moment that he even wanted to show up.
More than 4,000 people did show up to lay Pope County's protector to rest. 800-plus squad cars, many from states away. And on the horizon, a thin blue line captured on camera as cars filled the parking lot for the service.
There are signs of support for you, for your family, for law enforcement everywhere. I mean, for
Yes,
miles and miles.
It's like overwhelming.
What's that been like to see?
Everyone's so supportive, and I just didn't realize there was so much good. Because before this, I just talk about all the stuff you see on the TV. It's like always negative, and I always would joke and say it's just the negative news again. And then when you have stuff like this happen and the whole town is just overwhelmed with support, it's just amazing. I just want to thank everybody because without the people and the support right now, I don't know where I'd be.
Josh's canine, Karma, has also helped lift spirits. At first, someone else cared for Karma, but when the dog went days without eating, he went home.
I could tell right away. He's like, I'm in my house, I'm in my space. Yeah, he was all back to normal again.
Down. The dog was gifted to the family after Josh's passing. And what happened where Josh is buried.
So yesterday I finally felt like going out there and I had Karma here with me and it was such a nice day. I'm like, I'll go see if I have a leash.
Perhaps sums up best how much he's missed.
We went out there and he literally just sniffed around and he laid right next to Josh. And I just lost it. But it was like a beautiful moment. I'm like, he's comfortable, he knows. And then it was like a peace went over me. It's been a blessing, so I'm really happy they are giving him to me. This town has just been amazing to me, and we have so much support now. It makes my heart full again.